Number 1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, we'll be discussing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we just tap 19-month highs, tapping at roughly 39,500 and getting so close to 40 G's, baby. Also in today's show, breaking news. The total Bitcoin addresses surpasses 50 million for the first time ever. So massive congratulations to all my Bitcoin hodlers. Also in today's show, Max Kaiser says his prediction, Cardano ADA will drop another 99% against Bitcoin in 2024. Also, in today's show, we'll be discussing the SEC facing sanctions threat as the judge questions the debt box case accuracy. Also in today's show, the SEC is facing yet another defeat in its recycled lawsuit against the crypto exchange Kraken. I'll be sharing these latest details, as well as El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele will be stepping down ahead of his re-election bid. I'll be sharing why that is. We're also going to be discussing the possible path ahead for Bitcoin breaching $200,000 per coin, according to the crypto analyst who called the 2021 crypto market collapse. We're talking about Dave the Wave. Also in today's show, Michael Saylor's latest Bitcoin prediction. He says Bitcoin is about to 425x, tapping a $300 trillion Bitcoin market cap. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining us. Massive shout out to everyone out there in the live chat. Good to see you, Casey Gates. Let's go. What it do, Satwise Jenks, Will Stop Sun versus Guru. Let me know if you guys are pretty ecstatic for this 40,000 price action, which should be incoming, hopefully, during this live stream. Let me know your thoughts. TI, what it do, broskies? Welcome. Roger Allen, just for the info. I appreciate you tuning in. Much love, much respect. What it do on Matrix? Majin Saiyan. Shout out to all my Super Saiyan legends out there, all my Bitcoin hodlers. Let me know how the stream is. Are we loud and clear and smooth? Holla at your boy, let me know. Shout out to Justin Campbell. Good to see you, JC. What's good, Tim Crypto? What a fabulous day. Amen. 40,000, send it. Says Matrix. Novum, welcome. Pump it up and respect that pump. You already know. What up? Relaxing meditation music. Always a pleasure. Says institutional adoption in countries adopting as well. FOMO, supply shock, all new and increased intensity. Things are happening this next 12 months. Will be epic. Amen. I agree with that sentiment 100%. Let's go. Yes, Bitcoin is so close to touching 40 G's, baby. I think it's going to happen during today's live, but let's see. Welcome everyone just joining us. Track U2 says loud and clear. Good to note. Jesse Oro, what up? What up? The Bitcoin price action is up. That's what's up. Holly, greetings from Cabo San Lucas. Beautiful place to be. Abel Gonzalez, let's go 50,000 according to Plan B. That's right. Johnny Midas, welcome. Family, appreciate you tuning in. KDA, what up? What's going on? Let me refresh this chat here. I'm not sure what happened. Welcome, McLovin. Appreciate you becoming a member. Shout out to the HODL gang. You guys already know. And what up, Zup? Welcome. Appreciate the feedback on the haircut, Roger Allen. Much love, much respect. Let me know if you guys can still see my screen clearly right now. Let me know because I'm not sure. Good. It says great sound and images. I appreciate that because on my screen I can't really see, but as long as we're still live and going, that's all that matters. Jeremy Amos, happy Saturday. That's right, stacking Saturday, and a beautiful time to be stacking sats, to say the least. Yeah, I mean. But anyways, fam, let's kick it off. And welcome from New York. I appreciate you, Corona Free Radio, Amandos, and everyone just joining in from Nigeria. That's what's up. But anyways, fam, let's kick it off as we do each and every day. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's very important. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs, and everyone who subscribes, you're going to be receiving daily premium crypto news alerts every single day. Also, heads up, be sure to smash the like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and I greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Jay and everyone just tuning in and joining us. Much love and much respect. But now let's kick it off with our market watch. Let me know if you guys can see the screen right now as my tech here is glitching and I can't see what you guys can see right now. So I'm assuming you can see, but please do let me know by confirmation in the chat. You should be able to see Coin 360, hopefully, on your screen right now. Let me know if you can see that. You can see Bitcoin is pumping. We're up, trading above 39,000, roughly at that 400,000 level. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the feedback. Cryptolution, what it do? Best show right now. I love it, says Patrick. I just greatly appreciate everyone's support. You guys are amazing. But anyways, you should be able to see this. We got all the major cryptos pumping in the green, minus BNB, the native token of the Binance exchange. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. We're sitting at a 1.48 trillion market cap, back on the rise with 38.5 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Thank you so much for subscribing, SJ. 7754, greatly appreciate that. We got the Bitcoin dominance at 52% even, with the Ether dominance at 17.5%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, the leader of the pack is Ordi, up 40%. Then we have IOTA, up 37%, followed by Celestia, up almost 23%, trading at $8.79. Now, which altcoins during this bull run are you most bullish on? Please do let me know. Cryptolution, appreciate the feedback. Looks great, looks great. Good to know. All right, we'll keep it moving as we kick it in to high gear. Here you should be able to see the crypto bubbles so you can have a visual perspective of how the market is doing right now. Virtually every major crypto pumping and in the green, IOTA and Ordi leading the pack. And if we zoom out on the weekly, even larger gains, some of these cryptos up over 50%, including Celestia, IOTA, and Luna Classic. And zooming out on the monthly, we can see major gains. Ordi is up 461%, like, whoa. Even FTT is up 200%. TIA is up 240%. Luna Classic, 130%. And Rune up 141%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, it shows we're currently rated a 74 in greed. Yesterday, a 71. Last week, a 73. And last month, a 72 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto fam. And welcome everyone just joining us. Massive celebration, massive kudos to all the Bitcoin hodlers out there who stuck the course. We survived the bear, and it was one hell of a bear season, wasn't it? I'd say, to say the least. And now you get to reap those rewards as we're about to cross that $40,000 psychological level. I'm so stoked. What up, Silas? I'm most bullish on Ethereum and Solana. Thank you for letting me know. S. Graham says 100,000, send it to the moon. Let's go. If I buy altcoins, I'm going to just convert profits into Bitcoin, says Casey Gates. That's the name of the game at the end of the day. What up, Pato? Appreciate you tuning in. Manfred Van Doom, welcome. Amando, welcome. Let's go. Today I buy Pepe and Luna Classic, says Bitcoin Master. Just be careful with those alts as they can lose a tremendous amount of their value. So just stress extra caution out there, fam. You know what I mean? But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us for this month of December for a peak? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think we can tap 50,000? Considering we're only roughly 10,000 away, I think that'd be a pretty solid target for Christmas. What are your thoughts, fam? Please do let me know. I greatly appreciate that. Crypto Cappy, I appreciate you joining the HODL gang. For those that don't know, we just launched the membership area of the channel, and you'll get recognition priority. You'll get your comments shout out first and foremost ahead of everyone else. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. And you'll notice in the description, if you guys are interested, it'll say members, or on the channel, it'll probably say subscribe, and you can choose your membership. I greatly appreciate the support. All the funds I receive from the support will be put right back into the channel, scaling the best possible crypto content out there, which is my mission. What up, Grandpa Grubber? I appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Welcome, Earl Harris. Good to see you. Just took some equity to move to Bitcoin. Thanks for the encouragement. You're very welcome. Wishing you the best. Barry says, hope 48. I think that's a solid target. 40,000 before the show ends. Heck yeah, send it. Let's get it. I meant 4,000 or 48.8 as a peak, says Jack. Even better. My major portfolio is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Watching from Nigeria. Shout out to all my peeps out there in Nigeria. I know you guys have mass Bitcoin adoption occurring with the inflation going on with your local currency. Hey JV, have a great day. Thank you, Blueberry Upbeats. I greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Crypto Dentity. Appreciate you as well. Day Nada, Crypto Cappy. Much love, much respect. But without further ado, now let's tap into our Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next, shall we? Here we go. You should be able to see my screen right now. So as you can see here, Bitcoin price is up. We topped 39,000. We're currently pumping. I think we probably tapped at roughly 39.5, roughly 500 away from 40 Gs, as there's so much bullish momentum right now in the market after traders digested the Binance settlement, paying that $4.3 billion to the Department of Justice. The hype around the market's belief that a spot Bitcoin ETF would be approved and bring significant cash inflows to Bitcoin, pushing the prices up across the entire crypto market. And here you can see Bitcoin is pumping like a mofo. We live for this. Now that Bitcoin has notched the best monthly close in 19 months, let's look into the reasons why the Bitcoin price is up a lot on the day. Now, dust from the Binance saga begins to settle. Initially, the Bitcoin price flashed mixed signals after the former Binance CEO's guilty plea, and the exchange agreed to pay that $4.3 billion settlement to the Department of Justice. Now, after taking some time to digest the outcome, the market began to notice that the Binance exchange was not having a mass exodus of funds like FTX did when its liquidity crisis first became public. Now, leaders of the crypto market, like Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz, sees the settlement as a net positive overall. Let me know if you agree with that. Now, while initially Binance's Bitcoin reserves were down 17% from the all-time high, the exchanges started to see the Bitcoin inflows again. And since the initial outflows, Binance's Bitcoin balance is up nearly 1%. And by comparison, FTX's Bitcoin reserves were depleted by 99.9%. That's because the entire exchange was a scam and a fraud. They were stealing your crypto, offloading it, and dumping it onto the market. Now, also, you can see right here the Binance Bitcoin balances as per Glassnode. So while Binance's Bitcoin reserves were at their lowest level since March 15th, they still maintain the largest amount of Bitcoin compared to all the centralized exchanges. Numbers don't lie. You can see the Bitcoin exchange balances. Binance has 501,000 BTC, followed by Coinbase Pro with 440,000 BTC, followed by Bitfinex, OKX, and Gemini. Now, which crypto exchanges do you trust, if any, the most? Which one are you most likely to move to make your trades? Please do let me know. Now let's discuss the potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval, boosting the market sentiment. Probably one of the most bullish sentiments right now in the market. Despite the bevy of macro headwinds, the Bitcoin price action continues to push higher, achieving now over 130% year-to-date gains. Not too shabby, with the volatility continuing to increase, and we all know volatility equals life force inside Bitcoin. Now, some analysts believe that the Binance and DOJ settlement is bullish for the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, noting a similar deal achieved by Arthur Hayes of BitMEX. Now, U.S. liquidity is beginning to mirror the start of the previous Bitcoin bull runs due to the quantitative easing measures. Quoting Charles Edwards of Capriole Investments right here, U.S. liquidity is trending up strongly, but like it did at the start of all the prior Bitcoin bull runs, the relationship between U.S. liquidity and Bitcoin's price is incredible. Quantitative easing equals the numbers go up. Quantitative tightening equals the numbers go down. And you can track this live, he shares, in this chart. So that's what's up. And also, we have the Crypto Greed and Fear Index showing positive sentiment as well. The current sentiment around Bitcoin-led MicroStrategy to buy another 600 million, which I shared the other day, breaking news. That means MicroStrategy is now holding over 174,000 BTC, making Michael Saylor the real top G, especially in Bitcoin. Quoting Capriole here, high time frame technical bias is bullish towards the range high of 58,000. And on the daily time frames, 42 to 45,000 remains the near term Wyckoff target. So keep that on your chart. Look out, 42 to 45,000 with the high of 58,000, which would be pretty lit, taking us, once we achieve 50, it's not going to be long before we recapture the all-time high of 69,000, especially with the Bitcoin halving only 5 months out set to take place in April. Then we got all the ETFs likely to be approved in January. And then we have the supply shock, the limited amount of Bitcoin on the exchanges, and so on. Now, after a rush of the spot Bitcoin ETF amendments in mid-October, the SEC refused to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF despite numerous applicants. In fact, they now have 13 applications awaiting approval, which include the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, also Fidelity, ARK Invest, and 21 shares. The SEC delayed the approval's November 17th deadline, with the SEC's next deadline set to be January 10th. Now, both Grayscale and BlackRock execs met with the SEC on November 20th to discuss the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, and I heard they just met again just recently the other day. Now, these meetings are a great sign that they're at least entertaining the idea of approving them, right? Whereas if they had no communication, that wouldn't be a good sign. Now, according to the reports, an approval may generate $600 billion worth of new demand. Crypto quant analysts believe that an ETF approval will lead to a $1 trillion increase in the Bitcoin market cap. Now, considering the Bitcoin market cap right now is probably sitting at roughly $700 billion, $1 trillion makes it more than double. So send it. Let's go. Galaxy Digital predicts a 74% price increase in the first year after the spot Bitcoin ETF launch. I'd say that's hella conservative, but what's your thoughts, crypto fam? Let me know. The next window for the SEC to potentially approve the spot Bitcoin ETF is from January 5th through the 10th. Let me know if you feel we're likely to get the approval, and if so, do you think they'll all be approved at the same time to avoid showing favoritism and to avoid some lawsuits against the SEC? Let me know your thoughts. Now, clearly, if we don't get that approval, then the next big deadline would be in March, which would still be prior to the Bitcoin halving scheduled to take place in April of 2024. Now, another bullish catalyst, record weekly inflows as year-to-date total surpasses $1.5 billion. That's right. While some investors may be awaiting to increase liquidity from the approval of the ETFs, institutional investors have already begun deploying funds to Bitcoin and crypto. That's right. They're seeding their ETF products. Probably why the price is pumping. And according to CoinShares, the institutional investors have pushed more than $1.5 billion into crypto over the past years. And I don't think that's going to slow down. It's only going to speed up. Now, of the $1.6 billion pushed to the crypto assets last year, over $1.5 billion flowed directly into Bitcoin, hence why it's the king. And in the past week, $311 million of institutional inflow was for Bitcoin alone. So the total weekly inflows into crypto by institutional investors is $346 million, which is the most since November of 2021. And can you say deja vu? Because back on November 10th of 2021 is when we hit the Bitcoin current all-time high of $69,000. How many of you were around and in Bitcoin back then? Let me know in the chat. Also, breaking news, the total Bitcoin addresses surpasses 50 million for the first time ever, which is major. And this thing is just getting started. Just look at that chart. Talk about a parabola. You gotta love it. And Max makes a prediction here. He says ADA, which is Cardano, will drop another 99% against Bitcoin in 2024, as Bitcoin is the apex predator. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this prediction from Max Kaiser. And let me get back to some of your comments here. Let me read as many as I can out loud. McLovin, what it do, fam? Casey says, I have a Coinbase account, but don't use it. Robinhood is cool, but I don't like how they limit selling and thinking of using Coinbase full time. Good to note, Casey. Thanks for sharing there. Yes, thought of it. If the big ETF companies buy most of the existing exchanges Bitcoin, nobody will be selling. So the price will shoot up like nobody's business. Says relaxing. You're damn right. Prepare, it's coming. Been busy at work and seldom catching the live stream. Well, nonetheless, I appreciate you supporting the show and tuning in, McLovin. A beautiful day as Bitcoin continues to make history around the globe. Best time to buy at last, 1,000 of Doge. Don't miss the opportunity. Thank me later, says Bitcoin Master. Wow, I didn't know Bitcoin Masters were pumping Doge, but to each their own. I don't judge here. I hope the ones that you lost everything in Celsius and BlockFi and FTX finally learned their lesson and now do Bitcoin self-custody. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, 8, because oftentimes, people will make bad decisions because they're chasing some some yield. So for example, with Celsius, if you gave your Bitcoin to Celsius and they're holding your Bitcoin, they would give you a yield. But what happens if something goes south and doesn't turn out? Just like the company ended up filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's what they did. And many of the investors lost everything, right? So it's best to just self-custody your Bitcoin. It's the smartest, safest bet, because then it's not dependent upon regulators going after the exchanges or, honeypots being attacked by bad actors such as, hackers. And also, you never know what's really going on behind closed doors. We witnessed the top 2 exchanges in the world, both doing fraudulent activity, from Binance being the largest and also FTX, which we all know. So be careful out there, fam. Cryptolution, even if the ETF wasn't approved by Jan 10th, why would you sell? It's simply inevitable. Exactly. Great sentiment there. I agree. BlackRock is in the building. Is that Mr. Larry Fink? Holla. Hex and Trump 2024. The moonshot. Doing real good with ETFs. Imagine when it happens. I know. This is just the hype of them being approved. Imagine when they're actually approved and they announced the dates of their launch. Game on. It's going to be a whole new ball game. We can head on up to, according to Samson Mao, he says we could potentially hit $1 million per coin days or weeks after the institutional money starts flowing into the Bitcoin ETF. Now, clearly, that's an extremely bullish scenario, but just goes to show you anything is possible. Unprecedented times, so no one really knows what's going to happen. Matt Lee, welcome from Australia. Shout out to my fam down under. Silas, I appreciate the super chat, fam. Bitcoin is a lizard soaking up sun and not wasting energy. Amen. I like that. Like an iguana. We have so many iguanas here in Puerto Rico, fam. It's wild. You know what I mean? Sorry, Kaiser, that's not going to happen. Referring to Cardano losing 99% of its value versus Bitcoin, says Jack. Cocaine is bad, says Max Dot. I don't know who you're referring to there. I hope, shout out from Laredo, Texas, border town. Shout out to Hector Justo. Appreciate you tuning in. What it do, Joey? Could be a sell the news event. You never know. Welcome, Web City. Be prepared. Amen. 100% always be prepared. And shout out to Sailing with Twins. It has been a long time. I missed you, broski. Hope all has been well. Buy now. It will soon be unavailable. And you already know, there is no second best. Amen. But with that being shared, now let's discuss our next story of the day and discuss the SEC taking some L's, which is music to my ears. Personally, here's the latest of what's going on over there, as the SEC may have to pay some sanctions according to this latest trial. So let's break this down. Let me know if you can see this clearly on your screen, fam. United States District Judge Robert Shelby cautioned the SEC, hinting at possible sanctions due to the purportedly deceptive statements in a legal action against digital licensing, also recognized as DebtBox, a crypto company. Lodged in the federal court of Utah, the SEC's legal action alleged that DebtBox deceived investors by around $50 million via the vending of unregistered securities known as node licenses. Now, Judge Shelby's decision revealed noticeable discrepancies. That's right. According to attorney Michael Walsh, they convinced the court to freeze the DebtBox assets, arguing the company was moving to Dubai beyond U.S. regulatory reach. And subsequently, it was discovered that these assertions were inaccurate. Go figure. They're just pulling that out of thin air to try to freeze their funds, it seems, with no bank account closures and an alleged overseas transfer of $720,000 being domestic. The judge raised apprehensions regarding the behavior of the SEC lawyers, misrepresenting facts, and the failure of other team members to rectify these inaccuracies may have violated Federal Court Rule 11B, mandating evidence-backed factual claims. This resulted in the issuance of a show cause order by Shelby, requiring the SEC to provide reasons why they should not incur penalties for these actions. Now, the intricacy of the case is underscored by the TRM Labs report, corroborating the SEC's primary claim that DebtBox deceived investors regarding mining tokens. The defense counsel had not provided a statement on the issue, and the SEC has acknowledged the order, planning to respond within the 2-week time frame specified by the judge. Now, this milestone signifies a pivotal moment in the legal process, highlighting the complexities of crypto regulation and underscoring the significance of legal responsibility and high stakes financial litigation. Now, Ripple lawyer John Deaton says he is not surprised that the financial regulator has been caught lying, adding the following: "It appears the lawyers at the SEC have made it personal when it comes to crypto cases." So with this, he calls for a subpoena against the financial watchdog. His colleague, Ripple Chief Technology Officer Stewart, also listed a detailed analysis of troubling patterns seen with the SEC. So there you have it. We all know you can't trust the SEC and the official sheriff of cryptocurrency by the name of Gary Gensler. Do you think Gary Gensler should be fired? Do you think he should be demanded to approve these ETFs, just like Congress has been telling him for years, such as Tom Emmer? It's like, Gary, approve the ETFs. This is not right. Yet they continue to push it back. They continue this unethical regulation from the major crypto exchanges. It's really unreal, but it's happening and playing out in real time. I'm just so happy that the SEC is losing when they're suing these companies for no real good reason, but just because they want to basically sheriff crypto out here, which is not a good look, and it's going to drive adoption outside the United States. So we need some ethical regulators, for Christ's sake, especially the chairman of the SEC. I think he should be a good human being that is not working for evil forces that are trying to tell him to do things that are not in the best interest of the investors. You know what I mean? So let me know your thoughts. Let's go. Fire Gary, says Geoff. That's right. Put a 1 in the live chat if you'd like to see Gary Gensler officially be fired from the SEC. And who would you like him to be replaced with? Clearly, they can just put another suit in there doing the same business as Gary, but I would like to see maybe Hester Pierce, crypto mom, or someone I feel who actually cares about crypto and cares about people, because clearly it's not Gary Gensler. That's just my 2 Satoshis. Off with Gary's head, says Jay Bravo. Yeah, let's bring back the olden days. You know what I mean? Off with his head. Burden, the large companies must buy the underlying asset for a 1-to-1 balance. They will not sell. Only selling the ETF, so that alone will drive the price up. Amen, 100%. Barry says, Gensler, I want him a life. Yes, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Everyone's just lighting up with ones in the chat. Tim, Max, Jay, Majin, Matt, Emilio. Everyone's agreeing. If you like Gary Gensler, put a 0. We'll just see if, does anyone like Gary and think he's doing a good job and think he is good for crypto? Let us know. Because so far, I don't think anyone supports Gary whatsoever. Kind of like Joe Biden. Gary is the Joe Biden of crypto. Just nobody likes him, but yet he's the leader, unfortunately. Careful what you wish for. They could put someone else worse. That's what I'm saying. They can replace him with another suit. So you got to be careful. Amen. Black Swan, Bitcoin, let's go. Send it. OG, one me. OG, blockchain, let's go. I like that track. Yeah, the people rule. Let's get Gary out of this mofo. And speaking of unlawful regulation of the SEC, did you know they recently sued Kraken? Thank you, Emilio. I appreciate that. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pues o yo parte. But I appreciate it. Thanks for that super chat. Much love, much respect. Gary is a 0. Amen. His mother should have called him a 0 because they knew he'd never amount to nothing. That's a joke I've heard before. UK says 0. What? You guys are pulling my leg. I like Gary. He fudded Bitcoin for a while, allowing me to accumulate. Yeah, I guess that's the silver lining. Gary fudding Bitcoin and pushing back the ETF has allowed you guys to stack sats on the low, just like BlackRock and the rest of the institutions over on Wall Street. It kind of just is what it is. But anyways, fam, let's now, I appreciate it. I am not a nugget. Thank you so much for the super chat and congrats on sending your 3rd ever. Have you ever heard if the BRICS countries are considering Bitcoin as their global reserve currency? Yes, I have read some stories on that actually over the months, and we have discussed it. They are considering using Bitcoin as a strategic global reserve currency, but also other maybe precious metals and things of that nature. So right now, we don't know how that will unfold, but I'll be keeping you posted with the latest as soon as I find out here. You know what I mean? But let's discuss some more unlawful regulation by the SEC. So yeah, they sued Kraken 10 months ago. Thank you for subscribing, Arno, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. And so they had to pay a $30 million fine. 10 months later, round 2, bringing up the same BS because they're shaking down these crypto companies because they want total and utter control. And I don't think this is the right thing to do, clearly. So let's discuss this another L, hopefully the SEC takes, against Kraken. The legal duel between the US SEC and Kraken, a lead-in crypto exchange here in the US. How many of you have used Kraken? Let me know. I like this exchange because they have the lowest fees in comparison to all the other exchanges. Looks like another misguided attempt by the SEC to exert control over an industry that fundamentally challenges an outdated regulatory playbook. The agency's lawsuit filed in November accuses Kraken of operating as an unregistered securities exchange. The lawsuit isn't just a repeat of the SEC's past failures, it's also a glaring example of regulatory overreach that fails to grasp the essence of cryptocurrency. Amen. It mirrors the agency's actions against Coinbase, which mark a pattern of aggressive regulation that is both ineffectual and counterproductive. In its case against Coinbase, the SEC alleged that Similar involved operating as an unregistered securities exchange. The approach fundamentally misunderstands the nature of cryptocurrency exchanges. The lawsuit isn't just a repeat. It is also, what I just mentioned. Unlike traditional security exchanges, platforms like Kraken offer a diverse range of digital assets that do not fit neatly into the security framework. The misclassification by the SEC reveals a lack of understanding of the unique characteristics of crypto, which functions as decentralized assets, often with utility or currency-like features rather than conventional securities. Now, one of the most striking issues in the absence of technological neutrality, the principle that regulatory frameworks should apply equally to all forms of tech without favoring or penalizing anyone in particular. So by forcing cryptos into the traditional security mold, the SEC is not only misapplying laws, but also showing a clear bias against digital assets. Facts. This lack of neutrality not only hinders innovation, but also unfairly targets platforms that are striving to work within the regulatory landscape, with Kraken being a great example. Now, I also want to point out, in their lawsuit against Kraken, they're deeming 16 of their current cryptos on the exchange being deemed unregistered securities, including Solana and Polygon. The SEC's aggressive stance risks driving business away from the US, clearly, to more crypto-friendly jurisdictions, which we're witnessing in real time. This phenomenon, known as regulatory arbitrage, could result in the US losing its position as the leader in tech innovation. The crypto industry is global, and excessive regulation in one country simply pushes businesses to relocate, like we're seeing mass exodus out of the United States and into El Salvador, taking their economic benefits and innovations with them. The Kraken lawsuit is set to become another example of the SEC's failure to successfully regulate the crypto industry, akin to the outcome of its actions against Coinbase. This repetitive cycle of aggressive and misinformed regulation is not only futile, but also harmful to the credibility of the SEC. It sends a message that the regulatory body is more interested in flexing its regulatory muscle than in understanding and adapting to new technological paradigms. The case isn't just an isolated legal battle, it's indicative of a broader issue within the US regulatory framework's approach to crypto. The SEC must move beyond its current outdated tactics, such as applying the frickin' Howey test, which was used back in 1933. It's like a century later, fam. Just wanted to point out the obvious. It looks like the SEC is set for another resounding defeat, which will serve as one more reminder of a need to a new approach by regulators. So there you have it. Crypto fam, what's your thoughts on the SEC coming around for round 2 against Kraken after they just recently collected a $30 million settlement? Let me know your thoughts and I'll read them out loud. Here we go. Brian Ward, welcome my fam. Oils being sold for Bitcoin would be epic. Oh, right. We talking about like Middle East oil, Saudi oil. That would be a pretty big deal. And also we may have a ETF spot coming out of potentially Abu Dhabi. There's talks of an M2 crypto exchange backed by billions. There's also been hype coming out of Hong Kong, finally launching a spot Bitcoin ETF. So United States, you're not the only game in town. You know what I mean? I think this competition is clearly a beautiful thing, and hopefully that lights the fire under the regulators' butt, if you know what I mean, to actually take action and finally approve these. It's about time. Emilio, sorry, JV, sick as a dog in bed with no glasses. Oh, sorry to hear that, Emilio. Wishing you a speedy recovery, fam. Hang in there. Lots of vitamin D3, lots of vitamin C. Should help you out tremendously. Larry says, I agree, brother. BlackRock will tell the SEC when to approve the Bitcoin ETF. Exactly, and that means when they're done seeding their ETF product. Because do you think Larry Fink rather buy Bitcoin in the 39,000 range or at over 100,000? You already know it's all about profits, the almighty dollar at the end of the day. And BlackRock is more powerful than most countries around the world. They're bigger, their $10 trillion market cap is bigger than most GDPs. You know what I mean? Some say BlackRock is the United States government. Let me know your thoughts on that sentiment, fam. We would all become banks if oil was traded with BTC. That'd be pretty massive, right? Happy Saturday, Melanie. Sat stacking Saturday, that is. Fiat is collapsing worldwide. Nation states are adopting Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to absorb the world's wealth. Inevitable, in my opinion. Amen, fam. Tell them. Let's go. Feliz Navidad. That's right. And I appreciate the super chat. Earl Harris, thanks for working on Saturdays. Dope work ethic. I work 7 days a week. 365 days out of the year, and we're now doing 2 live shows per day. If you don't know, now you know. So I appreciate the support, fam. Anyways, let's dive into our next story of the day. We still have so much to cover. Let's discuss the latest of what's going on with Nayib Bukele out of El Salvador, because the re-election is coming. 2024 is right around the corner. So here's the latest, my fam. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele, who is behind legislation recognizing Bitcoin as legal tender in the country, has stepped down from office to campaign. On December 1st, Bukele resigned as the president of El Salvador following approval from the country's legislative assembly, allowing him to take leave of absence to focus on his 2024 re-election campaign. He was succeeded by acting president Claudia Garavra, if I'm pronouncing that right, who is expected to serve until June 2024. The next general election will take place in February, in just a few months. Now, quoting Bukele here, the current state of democracy in El Salvador, the office of the president of the republic will be occupied by the person for whom no one has ever voted. I'm sorry, this is quoting Hector Silva, candidate for the mayor's office of El Salvador. And you can see the video here making some of those announcements. Bukele leaving the right legacy. Very powerful video, by the way. Bukele, who first took office back in June of 2019, quickly became known for his attempts to reduce the homicide rate in El Salvador, one of the highest in the world at that time, as well as his pro-crypto policies. He advocated for the Salvadoran government to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender, in which it did in September of 2021, and pushed for the creation of the volcano-powered Bitcoin city in the country. Now, though the homicide rate under Bukele had dropped significantly, many critics have pointed to El Salvador violating laws on human rights in its attempts to crack down on gang activity. Sounds like a bunch of FUD there for me. But anyways, the United Nations Human Rights Office report from March said the country had implemented mass detention since 2022, in which many people were mistreated who have died in custody. Well, we do know they transformed the country, for Christ's sake, from the most violent in the world with the highest homicide murder rate to being the safest in the Americas. Numbers don't lie, fam. The president of El Salvador serves a 5-year term. So before September of 2021, the country's constitution required presidents to wait 10 years before running for re-election. However, El Salvador Supreme Court ruled at the time that a president may serve 2 consecutive terms, kind of similar to in the United States, right? Only we have 4-year terms and not 5-year terms. So what are your thoughts surrounding Bukele stepping down to be focusing on re-election? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Shout out to everyone just joining us. What up, Mark? We are pumping up. We got to get to 40,000 during today's live. We got to make that happen. Where's the price action right now? Is the feed still live? Let me know. It should be, but you just never know. Let me check it out here. No, we're correct. 39,558 at the current time. You know what I mean? So we're getting so close. We're inching closer and closer, and we still got a lot of time left to make it happen. So let's get it. You have to step down as the president to run for office again? It seems to focus to make sure he wins, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. I think it's because he cares so much about the country, and he wants to be reelected so he can serve another 5 years, which will be massive for Bitcoin adoption. You know what I mean? So definitely a good thing in my humble opinion. Chris Robinson, 50,000 next week. Send it. Let's go. Let's get it. Can you give a shout out to my wife, Mireille, visiting Culebra Island and San Juan? Yes, that's what's up. Mireille, appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to you and K Joe. Thanks for tuning into the live show. The streaming is great. Thank you, JJ. Music to my ears. BlackRock just told Gary to approve the ETF before Saylor takes all the Bitcoin. Go Mikey Saylor. Amen. Why are all the greatest people in the world Mikes? We got Mike Jackson. We got Mike Jordan. We got Mike Saylor. Just saying. What mics am I missing? FBI is the third largest organization who is holding Bitcoin. That's right. Let's do the math. Bitcoin Master, the biggest organization, the largest hodler of Bitcoin right now is GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, who is looking to convert their product into a spot ETF, and they're already having conversations with the SEC to do so. So they already have a massive supply of Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if the government would be third, but I think second would be MicroStrategy with 174,000 Bitcoin. And then I'm guessing the government of the United States maybe holds 100,000 or so in that ballpark. Let me know if that is accurate or not. I appreciate it. Mike Tyson, there you go. All the greats, the legendary Mikes. Saylor, add him to the list, 100%. Smash the like, says Emilio. I appreciate that. Tyson, 100%. How'd I forget about the greatest of all time? Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champ ever of the world in boxing. I don't know what age he was, maybe 18 or 19 years old. He became the greatest, which is unheard of, right? We also have Mike D from the Beastie Boys. Oh, word up. That's right. How'd I forget? Got to go to work. All good, Robbie Kaiser. I appreciate you. Money needs to be converted to Bitcoin. You got to do what you got to do. Take action as we continue this pumpage. But anyways, fam, let's break down our next story of the day. Now let's discuss some bullish price targets. Dave the Wave is predicting a $200,000 target incoming for the King Crypto. Smash the like if you'd like to see a 200,000 price. And then I'm going to be sharing the latest from Mike Saylor, one of the greatest ever, predicting Bitcoin to go on a tear. 425x, tapping a $300 trillion Bitcoin market cap, tapping into 40% of all the wealth in the world. The most bullish prediction I've ever heard from Mike Saylor. So it's going to be lit. Stay tuned. But first, let's discuss this $200,000 target from Dave the Wave. Shall we? And welcome everyone just joining us. The trader who accurately called the crypto market correction back in May of 2021 says Bitcoin's market structure is now potentially on track to approach the $200,000 mark if all goes well. Let's go. Synonymous trader and analyst Dave the Wave tells his 143,000 followers the Bitcoin's moving average convergence divergence, known as the MACD indicator on the monthly chart, is signaling strong bullish momentum for the King Crypto. The MACD is traditionally used to spot the trend reversals and confirm the trends. Quoting him here, another histogram on the Bitcoin monthly MACD printed. How many are expecting something like this? And you can just see that bullish momentum in that chart. It's lit. So based on his chart, Dave the Wave appears to predict Bitcoin will rally above $200,000 by December of 2025. So 1 year out. Personally, I feel that's a bit conservative. My range for this cycle peak, which I agree it will happen sometime in 2025, but my range is anywhere from 220,000 as the bearish scenario, as high as 500,000 with a bullish scenario and a potential double top. But let me know your predictions for the cycle peak, fam. I'd love to know. So with Bitcoin looking bullish, Dave the Wave notes, there could be too much of a consensus on Bitcoin, opening up the possibility of Bitcoin hitting its upside target way sooner than his initial timeline. Interesting. Quoting him here, seems to me a bit of a problem here. On a technical basis, it looks fine, but if most are expecting it, this becomes problematic from a contrarian perspective. Perhaps it will front run by a year. And he makes a great point, meaning the consensus, if everyone's expecting a certain thing to happen, typically it'll never happen because everyone's anticipating it. So that's real talk. Dave the Wave uses his own version of the logarithmic growth channels, which are the LGCs, which aim to roughly project the highs and lows of Bitcoin's long-term market cycles while filtering out the shorter-term volatility. And according to the analysts, Bitcoin has been in the buy zone on the LGC for almost a year and a half, but it looks close to breaking out, as he shares here alongside the chart. Bitcoin price in the LGC buy zone now for nearly 1.5 years, 17 months. How many more months? I wonder. Shaded zone on the chart since 2018. Talk about deja vu. What are your thoughts surrounding some of these bullish price targets from Dave the Wave and the fact we'll hit 200,000 this cycle peak? Let me know if you also agree with me and think that's a little conservative, or do you think that's right in alignment with your personal target? Let me know. I'll read some more comments out loud and then we'll dive into our breaking story of the day. The most bullish prediction from Michael Saylor saying Bitcoin will 425x from here. Let's freaking go. And Bitcoin is pumping once again, fam. We're only $500 away from tapping $40,000. If you want to see a 40,000 price action, make sure to smash the like and make sure you're subscribed to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. And I'm happy to give you an on-screen shout out. Let's make it happen. Appreciate you guys. What up? Welcome, fam. Let's freaking go. All-time high quarter one, says David number 23. That's right. We're probably going to continue to hit all-time highs leading into the halving and post-halving as well, as typically it's the year preceding the halving. We hit the cycle peak. So let's go. Majin says 200,000 plus easily. That's right. Easy peasy, baby. Let's go. Yeah, just think 0.1 Bitcoin will cost 26,000. That is crazy to contemplate, right? 0.1 Bitcoin, a tenth of a Bitcoin, 26 Gs. That's why you know 39,000 per a whole Bitcoin is a steal. It's almost a 2-for-1 from the all-time high of 69 Gs, baby. So let's get it. Linux Master, welcome. That guy always buy Bitcoin on the top. Who you referring to, Saylor? Bet-ish hits the fan. Too much good news. And no black swan, says Joe Aspen. Hey, we got to have our time to shine. We had a hell of a bear and we survived. So now we get to reap the rewards, fam. Whoa. Jeffrey says 3,800 per week is 50,000 by December 31st, 197,000 by the end of 2024. The most popular singer, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber and 50 Cent, Akon, Rihanna, all holding Bitcoin. Yeah, you already know, because anyone in the know is holding Bitcoin, of course. I mean, where else do you park your money? Especially wealthy people, influencers, they all have Bitcoin. You already know. The only ones anti-Bitcoin are the legacy system billionaires that are passing, like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. Yeah, I mean, the old oligarchs, Dan Pena, that guy said Bitcoin's going to zero. It was created by Putin. Well, they're already fiat billionaires, so why do they care about Bitcoin? However, they're trying to protect their Ponzi scheme token, the Ponzi dollar, if you know what I mean. Hence why they target Bitcoin. You know what I mean? This is just the start. Amen, J Bella, 100%. Let's go. Welcome, RL Clips. Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Alper? Welcome. Appreciate you. Let's get it. Stephen Hub says Bitcoin and ETH. Most alts are doing very well today. Yeah, entire market is up. Shout out Andreas. I appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. We're only 500 away from smashing 40,000. Let's make it happen. But without further ado, now let's break down our breaking story of the day. Michael Saylor shared a very bullish prediction. He says Bitcoin will 425x from here, tapping into a $200 to $300 trillion Bitcoin market cap. Could you imagine that? And where do you feel that will send the Bitcoin price? Probably north of $100 million per coin. So let's break this baby down, shall we? And shout out to Mike Saylor. I transcribed one of his recent interviews and I shared it earlier on X. It already had over 33,000 views and continues climbing, already going viral, 443 hearts, 87 retweets. Here's what he said. Because Bitcoin is just pure money, it's just as effective as $100,000 a coin as it is $10,000 a coin. And at $1 million a coin, it's just as effective as at 10 million a coin. Is probably more compelling at 10 million a coin than 1 million or 100,000 a coin. It's kind of a universally scalable asset that gets less risky. The only thing that's going to change, in my opinion, is when it was super risky and scary below $10,000. You were getting 100 to 200% a year annualized gains. And then when it got a bit more understandable between $10,000 and $100,000, your gains go to 40 or 50% a year. And then at some point they go to 30% and then 20%. And in the extreme, if everybody in the world understood Bitcoin, it'd be 20, 30, 40% of the wealth in the world. Check this out, fam. So it would be $200 to $300 trillion in today's dollars. Send it. That would be Bitcoin tapping into 40% of the total addressable market, all of the wealth in the world. And then the price would be appreciating at the rate of global inflation and fiat currency. So if the gold inflation rate remains at 7, it would still remain at 7, and then it would appreciate a little bit more because of the productivity of the people that adopt it as a treasury reserve asset. So there you have it. How many of you agree with Mike Saylor that we could potentially see a $200 to $300 trillion Bitcoin market cap? Let me know. He also shared in an interview with Patrick Bet David on his podcast, Bitcoin is on a path to be worth $100 million per coin, which means that the US dollar will have lost 99.9% of its value over 100 years. Warren Buffett knows this. Charlie Munger knows this. And of course, Charlie Munger recently passed last week at age 99, 1 month before turning 100 years old. This interview was also pretty lit and got a lot of love when I shared it. 132,000 views on X, 988 hearts, and 257 retweets. These are the most bullish price predictions I have ever personally covered or heard from Michael Saylor. Again, he's projecting the Bitcoin market cap hit 300 trillion and Bitcoin can be worth $100 million per coin, which would mean the US dollar losing 99.9% of all of its value. But wait, there is more. He also shared, first of all, is Bitcoin going up by a factor of 10? Whether they can fix any of this stuff is going to be a grind up by a factor of 10 just because gold is broken and Bitcoin is going to replace gold. And now everybody in the universe knows they need a non-sovereign store of value in the form of a bearer instrument. For the last year, people said inflation may be coming. We're not sure. Now the mainstream narrative has flipped. Inflation is here. You need an inflation hedge. So it's going to grind up to replace gold. It'll go to 500,000 per coin, regardless of whether they fix these things. Here are the 3 things that are massive catalysts that cause an acceleration. Those 3 things don't take us to 500,000 per Bitcoin. They take us to $5 million per coin. So here are the 3 things that will take Bitcoin to 5 million per coin, fam. Number 1, the spot Bitcoin ETF, where someone can go ahead and buy 100 million worth of Bitcoin via an ETF security. I think that's one. And we all know that ETF is likely to be approved in January, roughly 45 days out, fam. So you already know. Number 2, your bank is going to custody it for you and lend against it. One of the reasons you should never sell your Bitcoin, you can borrow against it. Why would you want to sell the apex predator for fiat crap? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So just a matter of time. And number 3, I can mark it up or down on my balance sheet based on fair value. It'll be pari passu on the way I handle my Apple stock, or at least that good. If you have property with fair value accounting, by the way, it becomes pari passu to the way you handle treasury bonds on a treasury balance sheet. Treasuries are better than stocks because treasury is property, whereas a stock is a security, and you're capped out at 40% of your balance sheet of securities. So it would be a major breakthrough if you saw any of those 3 things. And we're going to get all 3. Talk about the trifecta. Let's go. I'll end with this one observation I tweeted last week. I believe is very powerful. If the banks can hold the stuff on their balance sheet, then a whole new class of investors are going to buy it. People are going to put in $1 billion and multi-billion dollar orders to buy it as a treasury asset. Nobody is going to sell it because there is no reason to sell it if you can borrow against it. Do you hear that, fam? So you'll be borrowing against Bitcoin. Nobody is ever going to sell it. Only idiots. And at that point, I joke, you won't be able to afford it. You'll be able to afford it, you know, but everyone gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Preach. And when the banks normalize it and you can draw a 100 million credit line at 100 basis points from an FDIC insured bank. Shout out Michael. I appreciate the super chat. 425X from Mike soon to be adopted. Send it. Let's get it. And at the point right now, we're going to blow through that market cap of gold by a factor of 10. Easy peasy. So he's ultimately projecting 100 trillion market cap here, as the gold market cap's probably roughly 10 trillion. 10x of that would be 100 trillion, right? So I think the best thing is those 3 things are highly likely to happen. That's right. They're already happening. I don't know if they happen in 36 months or 24 months or in 12 months, but I'd be shocked if it's more than 36 months. And I hope it doesn't happen in 12 months because my view, the longer it takes, the more progressive the grind and the more time I have to buy more of it. Preach. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this sentiment that Bitcoin will likely hit 5 million just based off those 3 catalysts, which I just shared with you. But wait, there's more. Saylor expects Bitcoin demand to double after the halving and after the spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved, which we all know is coming down the pipeline. He shared in an interview the demand has got to at least double. So the only thing that's going to adjust there is the price in order to get to market. He also said there are 3 things that are massive catalysts for the acceleration, which I just read for you, which is not just going to take us to 500,000 a coin, but to 5 million a coin. And he also shared that a spot ETF where someone can go ahead and buy 100 million in Bitcoin to buy an ETF security, and your bank allowing you to custody it, to lend against it so you can borrow some money. All those things are likely to come for Bitcoin. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Giga Chad. I'm going to continue to read these comments out loud. Let's get to 1,000 concurrent live streamers here on YouTube. Can we make that happen? Can I get some likes? You already know, fam. Erico says, send it. Let's go. Why do you use to borrow against Bitcoin? Or who do you use? Well, there were companies out there like BlockFi and Celsius. They all filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They're no longer here. Unfortunately, they did not survive the bear. However, once Bitcoin is recognized as an asset class globally, meaning the ETFs get approved, many of these banks are going to be launching the products because they got to give the customers what they want. It's demand. If everyone's demanding it and they don't provide it, then they're going to lose customers and lose business, and they'll find somewhere else to do so. So right now, I don't know any major banking institution where you can borrow against your Bitcoin, but it's all coming. But it's all going to start with the spot Bitcoin ETF, hence why that's a hallmark and why that is so important. We get that approval, and why Gary is not allowing it. He's allowing his homeboys to buy Bitcoin on the low to seed their ETF products. Seems like common sense to me, but let me know your thoughts. Next year's prediction: Matic $5, Litecoin $300, Dogecoin $2, 100% sure. So you're saying that with 100% certainty. Wow. What are you, Nostradamus? Some are probably already stacking. Many new wallets are receiving huge amounts of Bitcoin lately. That's right. And we're continuing to hit new highs as far as adoption, Bitcoin wallets, also the hash rate, which is the difficulty. All those things are looking more and more bullish every day. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Will borrow against Bitcoin create margin calls though, JV? It can. You got to pay back your loan, of course, 100%. So you got to be careful at the same time, not do anything stupid. You know what I mean? Don't make gambles. Tony Jeffries, I appreciate the info. Shout out Info Bitcoin. Appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. Roger, RSI is above, referring to the relative strength index. A small correction coming soon. Andrew says, good job. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. I love River Financial and Strike for buying Bitcoin. Shout out to River Financial and Strike. Shout out to Jack Mahlers. We covered him in great detail in yesterday's episode. Also, Jack Mahlers predicts Bitcoin hitting $1 million. And he says Bitcoin will tap into the $100,000 price range at neck-breaking speed, quoting him from that recent interview he did on Fox News. If you missed yesterday's episode, be sure to check it out. It was pretty lit. I appreciate you guys. Tennessee Eagle Man, the bull run will finance my cyber beast. Word up. What's a cyber beast? Is that a car? Is that Elon's new car? The one that's like indestructible and you can shoot bullets at it? 39,487. Send it, says Rich Stark. You already know. RSI 80. Strike is awesome. 100%. Strike is amazing. It allows you to dollar cost average. You can auto buy and do a lot of cool things with that app. And they're now available in over, I think, 400 countries around the world. So the majority of the places can use Strike, which is pretty cool. These got goosebumps. Good. I call it spirit bumps. Because why we compare ourselves to gooses? But anyways, I know what you're saying. China push Bitcoin next year. You already know. Yeah, I think Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by March. Yeah, Bitcoin already hit 100,000 in my mind. So it's coming. Law of attraction, just saying, I believe it. I know it's happening, just a matter of time. Bitcoin could hit all-time high of 69 G's, baby, in the first or second quarter of 2024. Very doable. I agree with you on that, fam. Anything's possible. Got to remember, in 2021, Bitcoin went on a tear from 16,000 to 69,000 in 2 months. So if we can go from 16,000 to 69,000, what is that appreciative? Holy moly. I don't know the exact number, but what is that, like almost 50,000 price increase? Let's just, underestimate, over deliver, say it's a 40,000 price increase. So if Bitcoin can soar 40,000 in a matter of 60 days, anything is possible. When it starts to rip, God candles start incoming. You already know, fam. Many of you witnessed it previous cycle. Is it the right order? God first, family second, Bitcoin third? I like that, Hector. We got to give God priority there. God number one. You got to respect the fam, because without your fam, you're nothing. And Bitcoin third. I like that. There's the Holy Trinity for you. What every man needs in their life, God, family, and Bitcoin, that's it. We don't need anything else. We're simple. I love it. Bitcoin all-time high equals Christmas Day. Hell yeah, send it. That'd be lit. It's going to bring back memories. In 2017, I got into Bitcoin. It was $1,500. We soared. I remember on Christmas, we were almost 20,000, right? It was crazy to witness. And here we are, almost 6 years later. Crazy, right? How fast time flies. This is the last time we'll be in the 30s. That's right. Some of the on-chain analysts already predict we'll never go below 35,000 ever again. We're heading up. Look, 39.6 incoming. We're only roughly $400 away from tapping 40 G's. For that reason, I'm going to stay extra long on the live stream so we can continue to pump it up. If that sounds good to you, smash the likes, pump up the likes. You know what I mean? Let's get some smashed potatoes on the likes. I appreciate it. May need some guns and ammo too, 100%. Don't slack. Got to protect yourself, right? Protect your coin. I have Bitcoin in 100K, CRO, and looks like Jesus. Good. Everyone needs a little Jesus in their heart, right? Tim, I believe there will never be a Bitcoin price below 30,000 again. I agree with that sentiment because we're likely to head up, not down. The perma bear is expecting us to go down. The Solaways and everyone preaching doomsday, but I don't see that. I think the more conflicts of the world and war and uncertainty and fear and doubt and bank runs, just like we witnessed earlier in the year, how'd Bitcoin react to the regional banking crisis in the US? Bitcoin soared. We're on a tear. We're up probably now 140% on the year. And this is supposed to be a bearish year, but you can't hold the good thing down. Bitcoin's on its own trajectory. It's on its own vector. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys agree. 39.6 is incoming. Let's go. My alerts are going off. Love it, passive. Music to my ears. Amen, says Crypto Cappy. Appreciate y'all. Rocket ship to the moon. Let's go. Hit the like button. 100%. You got to smash that like. I only buy red candles, says Double B. Word. Buy on the low. You do what it do. Take advantage of anything you can. Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is stacking sats, right? One Bitcoin is still equivalent to one Bitcoin. If you purchased a Bitcoin back in 2011, that one Bitcoin is still equivalent to one Bitcoin. Yes, in fiat terms, it's no longer a dollar. It's now almost $40,000. But that's the beauty. We shouldn't be so focused on the fiat conversion of Bitcoin and more focused on just stacking more sats, knowing, you know what I mean, price will take care of itself regardless. You know what I mean? Two bears in one cave. You need perma bears. Their positions getting liquidated adds to the momentum and to the excitement. So thank you, perma bears. Thank you, Peter Schiff. Thank you, Charlie Munger. May your soul rest in peace. And the rest of you guys as well. Amen. Everybody needs a little Jesus. Thank you for mentioning that. And I don't mean Ishcoin. Thank you, Patrick, for the clarification. And Audibus, you already know, rocket ship to the moon, send it. We're still pumping. I think we're going to hit 40, so I'm going to keep talking until we hit 40. How's that sound? Guy, Cedrina, welcome. Yeah, press the smash that like. 40,000's incoming. It's past now. Chili's, JK, to Saturn, stack sats, stacking Saturday. That's a tongue twister for you. 39.6 is in, 39.7. We're only like roughly $300 to $400 away from 40 G's, baby. Let's go. It's pumping quick now. It's going quicker and quicker. The more subscribes I get, the quicker we hit 40,000. That's just the way the universe works. Thank you, Robert Townsend. Greatly appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. I'm here for you each and every day, 7 days a week, 2 live shows. I keep it lit. You know, I blocked the Turkish rocket man. Do what it do, Silas. Let's freaking go. Damn, we're pumping, and it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that super chat. Says Lambo, you are the man, JV. Let's go. When Rari? When Lambo? Soon. Very soon. How many of you are coming to the 100,000 Bitcoin Fiesta party in Puerto Rico? Let me know. Make sure you're a part of the Discord, which can be found at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Plug in. Morn, I appreciate you subscribing. Much love, fam. Thank you, thank you. Juan Romero, okay, it's live. Awesome. What up, JV and everyone? Stack sats to the day you die. Amen. Stack sats or die trying. That should be 50 Cent's new album. And do you know 50 Cent made like 25 mil off of album sales accepting Bitcoin, but he claims he lost it in a boating accident. I'm making the second part up, but it wouldn't surprise me because he claims he don't have it. How many of you have lost your Bitcoin in a boating accident? Let me know. Stephen Hubs, 39.6. Yeah, 39.7 incoming. We're only roughly 300 away from 40 G's, baby. Bitcoin's pumping. We're up over $800 on the day, up over 2%. That's nothing. Appreciate it, Dustin. Thanks, fam. I've never used Discord before. Well, you could learn something new. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I never used Discord until I signed up and became a member and created my own Discord server. Now we have an entire Crypto News Alerts fam in our Discord. We probably got like 20 chat channels and so much going on. So I highly encourage everyone to plug in. I'm getting a warm feeling in my belly. You gotta love it. That fire in the belly is a good sign. The boats and Bitcoin don't mix. Amen. OMG, I am pumped. That's what's up, Days Guns. You already know. Pump it up. Respect the pump. Let's go. Uzi. 40,000 soon coming. Let's go. Crypto news pump to 40 G's, baby. Michael Hellman. That's what's up. Let's send it. We're so close. We're getting close. Discord is lit. You got to make sure to join the Discord. Thank you, Casey. It's cool as what? That's right. And if you're on your mobile device, it's really cool. So I recommend Discord on a mobile. If you prefer a computer, it's cool too, but it's extra cool on mobile. What's your Discord server name? Crypto News Alerts. The direct link to join the server, it is, what is it? Discord.cryptonewsalerts.net, or you'll always find the links to all the communities in the description below the video. So if you just want to click on it, it's easy. You can't miss it. I feel like Noah, all aboard. The flood comes, it's too late. That's right. Bitcoin is the ark. All aboard, fam. Those South American countries. Oh, let's speak about these South American countries, shall we? They should make Bitcoin legal tender instead of just being bullied by the IMF. Amen. Tell the IMF to, just like Bukele did. Screw the IMF. Who needs them, right? They're all fraudulent to begin with. And so we have the president of Colombia. He recently got orange pilled by Samson Mao. I shared this previous episode, right? He gave him 100,000 sats. So the president of Colombia is a Bitcoin hodler. How cool is that? And he's excited to be discussing Bitcoin adoption in their country. Their country has roughly 50 million people. That's pretty major, much larger population than El Salvador. Now, I have lived in Colombia. I spent 6 months in Medellin, beautiful place to be. I love it there, actually. It's the city of eternal spring. So if they were to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, it would be so attractive for people to move to Colombia. I mean, people already love Colombia because they have amongst the most beautiful women in the world, but I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys already know. I lost my Bitcoin in a surfing accident when I got barreled. Oh boy, Juan. It sucks, but hey, it happens. Sometimes when you have it in your pocket and you're surfing, it can just fall into the infamous abyss ocean, you know what I mean? Dustin, thanks for that super chat. Hits 40,000. I'm drinking a whole bottle of Fireball tonight. Oh, snap. I'll smoke a blunt to that. But hey, 40,000 incoming. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah, you already know. Guerrilla Marxist president goes Bitcoin. Oh, we also have Javier Milei of Argentina. Argentina, major population. But it was a little sketchy when I saw pictures of Javier shooting the ish with Bill Clinton. Like, why would anyone want to do business with that corrupt mofo? So I'm feeling a little sus. Like, did we get misled by Javier Milei saying he's going to end the central bank? You know, had the chainsaw. We're putting an end. It's a non-negotiable. Or was he just blowing smoke up our ass? Let me know your thoughts, fam. I'd love to know. If presidents are adopting Bitcoin, you have to be a fool not to invest. Right. If you haven't invested in Bitcoin by now, you probably never will. And yeah, it was very foolish. 100%. Japan has the hottest women, in my opinion. Well, I guess if you like Japanese women, that's a no-brainer, Joey. Do you live in Japan, by the way? Let me know. PHX, let's go. Nipsey is our mascot. He is back. Yes, now we can continue to pump now that the mascot is back in the building. Suriname allocating 1% of the central bank hodlings to Bitcoin. That's right. I forgot all about Suriname, which is another population of 600,000 just north of Brazil, right? They're already discussing adopting Bitcoin as the legal tender. Samson Mao is doing God's work, orange pilling all of these leaders, and I love it. He's going to have a really bad, or what? ACH. Oh boy. Mate, how many Bitcoin are you holding? Never reveal. I actually lost all the Bitcoin I own in a boating accident. It's sad. But hey, I just continue, but it's hard to go on. But I'm going to get through this with you guys, with your support. We'll just stack again from the bottom. You know what I mean? So I lost it all. It's all gone. I have nothing. Don't live there yet. Soon though. Word up, Joey. That's good stuff. I used to be a hillbilly, but then I found some Bitcoin, and now I'm a Mountain William. I haven't heard that term. Word up. Let's get to 40,000 the stream. That's the goal. With your help, we can make it happen. Share this mofo with others. Let people know we live. Nipsey is almost as cute as Rex. Who's Rex? Is that your pup? There is a president of some country rooming with SBF. Oh, yes, I read that. Ain't that something? Right? So Bankman-Fried is in prison right now, and his roomie is a president from another country, or ex-president, I guess corrupt president. You know, so many presidents are corrupt. All the United States presidents are corrupt. I think the last president we had in the United States that wasn't corrupt got assassinated. His name is JFK. They blew his brains out because he was looking to end the Fed. That's what they do to non-corrupt presidents. You know what I mean? That's why I have so much respect for Bukele and what he's doing out there. You know what I mean? My dog ate my private keys. Oh, not you too, Andy. Dang it. It happens, though. Do you expect ETS before Christmas? Rumor that? Nah, I don't expect it before Christmas. I'd prefer that, but I think most likely it's going to be next year. They're going to continue to push it back as much as they can until they can no longer do it. And I think it'll likely be January or March, right before the halving. I think that will set up the perfect storm. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Better get it chillin'. Let's go. Roger, now on the Discord. Congratulations. I appreciate you joining the Discord. That 100,000 Bitcoin party in El Salvador is going to be orange pill all north of South America. Well, there's probably going to be parties all over the world, but my 100,000 fiesta is in Puerto Rico because I live in Puerto Rico. I don't live in El Salvador, so just wanted to clear that up. And for more info, and if you're interested in attending the party, make sure to join our Discord. We have a chat already set up, a channel called the 100K Fiesta. You'll see it there, and I greatly appreciate that. I lost all my Bitcoin by sending it to an ETH address. It's all gone and lost forever in the ether. Ha! That's funny. Fine with me. Keep pushing it off. Stacking. Shout out Hodl for diamonds. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Bye-bye, Miss America. Bye. RFK tribute song. I lost my private keys during the toilet paper shortage. It happened to the best of us. Some of us lost our private keys due to global warming. They say global warming is real and it's a real concern, and now people are losing their private keys. What are we going to do? Say something about the Russian president, Vladimir. I like to show respect to people, especially respect to people I don't know personally. I have respect for Vladimir Putin. I don't know anything about him, so I'm not going to say anything. 1111 in Hawaii. That's what's up. That's a divine omen right there. Let's go. I think Bitcoin will hit 40 Gs at night. It could be probable. If we smash 40 Gs, fam, we're going to do a live pump watch party. If you'd like to see that, me go live, do an additional stream on the day, watching the charts, we can do that. Especially at 40 Gs, I feel it's a given. We have to. Stylus, JV, would the Bitcoin that you lost in a boat accident have made your daughter a Bitcoin billionaire? If it hit? I'm not answering none of these questions. Let's just say I'm happy and leave it at that. Do you like Monero? I was bullish on Monero. I used to be a hodler of Monero. A few years back, I dumped all my Monero for Bitcoin. Why? Because it seemed the regulators were targeting privacy coins. I respect privacy. I like privacy. I stand for privacy. But it seems that's a direct threat to the United States government. They don't like privacy coins, that's for sure. And the top privacy coins, if I'm not mistaken, are Monero, Dash, and what's the third one? Slipped my mind. So if you guys know, let me know. 420 coming in 8 minutes. Let's go. Monero will likely 10x. Yeah, I hope so. I'm a fan of it. I just don't hold it. Keeping it real. Juan, if Bitcoin gets to 200,000, then we do an El Salvador party. What do you think? Why not? Let's have as many parties and celebrations as possible, especially when we hit a major milestone, because that's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like, for example, Bitcoin only hit $1 one time. That was probably back in 2011. Bitcoin only hit $100 one time, only hit 1,000, 10,000, and only hit 100,000 one time. So I think we should celebrate these milestones so we can always remember them and remember the people we celebrated with. That's why I can't wait to actually meet you guys face to face and in the flesh, because I don't know any of you, but I know you on screen, but I'd love to meet you guys. And that's why I'm looking forward to the fiesta. It's going to be lit, fam. Pump party. Let's go. What up, Patrick? Lost my private keys when the government said they were going to audit my tax return. That's right. Quoting Michael Saylor, push me. You know what I mean? He's like, sorry, lost it all in a boating accident. Tax that. Classic, Mikey Saylor. Yo, the U.S. doesn't like privacy? Is that is that alarming to you? Land of the free. No privacy. Everyone waiting for massive pump. No, the pump is here. But yeah, God candles will come. It's only a matter of time. I define a God candle as a $10,000 positive green candle on the daily. That's a God candle. And I think we're going to be seeing some God candles this cycle, to say the least. JV, are you reserving a hotel for your party? Like for a wedding? Wedding crashers. We don't know. The details have yet to all be worked through. As we start approaching 69,000, we'll iron out all the details. That's why you got to get in the Discord, fam. Do you think Bitcoin 10 million per coin in 2033? Very doable. Amen. I definitely feel 1 million would be on the low. 10 million is very doable, especially with inflation of the US dollar at the rate it's going. You know what I mean? I truly do believe that. But anyways, fam, what we're going to do, we're at 39.5. I think we touched 39.7. We were only roughly less than $300 away from 40. We're going to continue the stream, but we're going to continue on the uncensored platform by the name of Rumble. If you don't know, I stream simultaneously each and every day on 2 platforms, YouTube and Rumble. Why on Rumble? Because it's the uncensored version of the show. I can talk about things I cannot talk about on YouTube. So I'm restricted, and I respect freedom of speech. I like to speak freely, don't you? So head on over to Rumble right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply open up the app, type in Crypto News Alerts, and join the live stream. It's going to be lit. You see this beautiful soundboard looking thing here? Well, these are smart pads. I'm going to be reacting to some Michael Saylor, including that 300 trillion market cap prediction of soaring 425x from the current levels. We're going to be reacting to a lot of good stuff, so you're not going to want to miss it. And trust me, if you're not tuning in on Rumble, you're missing out, because a lot of people prefer the show on Rumble because it's the uncensored version. So I highly encourage you to head on over to Rumble right now, support the show, and maybe we'll still hit 40,000 before the end of the Rumble stream. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and congratulations once again to all the Bitcoin hodlers. Much love. Peace. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. Head on over to Rumble. All right, the YouTube stream.